What's up, YouTube? It's Dan coming at you again from the Headwaters Kayak Shop, and I'm actually out here hanging today at the Headwaters Boathouse because it's a review time. I've got a boat that I've been excited to get out on the water for some time now. I just got it outfitted with the rudder on the back. This is a Big Fish 105 by Three Waters Kayaks. But before I get to that, I just wanted to give a huge thank you, a huge shout out to all of you guys that have been supporting the channel. We are about to break 5,000 subscribers, and maybe even by the time this video is posted, we've hit that 5,000 mark. So thank you guys so much. Expect a giveaway here within the next week or so. This community we're growing is just awesome. It's just been so fun. It's made my job so much more interesting. I've been in the kayak business now for almost 15 years. And this YouTube channel has completely re-inspired me. Kayak fishing has re-inspired me. So I just wanted to stop for a minute and give you guys some thanks. But for now, let's get into it, you guys. Let's get this review started. We're gonna check out the Big Fish 105. Let's start off with some specs here. This is a Big Fish 105, so that means it's 10 foot, 6 inches long, 33.5 inches wide, cathedral hull design, so it's gonna be really, really stable, and it's gonna carry that volume all the way into the bow and the stern, which means the primary stability on this is going to be absolutely huge. We've been in the 120 a bunch and we know that it's a very stable boat. And with the weight capacity only going down 20 pounds from 400 on the 120 to 380 on the 105, we're expecting this to haul a good load and still maintain a lot of that stability. Overall weight on this kayak is 89 pounds, and Three Waters has it priced at $7.99, which is a super good value for what you're getting. As far as quality, material, stand-up stability, the ability to add a rudder to it, track systems throughout the whole boat, adjustable foot pedals, and this little guy, which is actually a sonar pod where you can mount your sonar to the top and mount your transducer to the bottom, and then this whole thing can just pop right out. So if you want that out, you just grab this here, and you got a hole that goes through the bottom of your kayak where you can mount your transducer, shoots through the bottom. And I've actually seen a lot of guys add trolling motors to this kayak as well using that little area. One thing I am really digging about the new Three Waters is the seat adjustment. It's got a super tall seat height, which is about 12 inches off the deck. So it'll go all the way down to the deck just like this. It's got a little recline position, or you can just pop it right up. And you see I'm doing that with one hand, filming with my other. So pretty easy to use even on the water. And lastly, if you wanted to, this thing will actually flip up out of your way. And you've got a couple of bungees here that you can clip into the back. And that actually makes like a little standing area, and you can lean against this seat for support. You guys didn't click on this video to hear me talk about stats. Let's get this baby on the water. One thing I'll say is the fact that this is made by Feel Free, I have complete confidence in the plastic. I don't hesitate to drag it on the concrete or put it on the rock, because the Feel Free quality has just proven to be so incredibly stout and durable for us over the years. I'm in, all 225 pounds of me. Feels totally 100% stable. Nice dry ride. So you guys, the paddle I'm using today is an Aquabound Tango. I always say this in each of my videos because I feel like it's so important. Is your paddle is as important, if not more important, than the boat you're in. If you have $1,000 to spend $750 on your kayak and $250 on your paddle. You will thank me. Instead of spending $900 on your kayak and getting the free paddle that they're going to throw in with it, you'll be so much happier with a little bit nicer stick. Oh my God, you guys. I had my phone on a boom sticking out in front of the boat, and I went to turn it on because there's this bass right here. Leaned all the way over the front of the kayak, and then the boom hit this dock right here, and I jumped for my phone because it came out of its clip. In the process of doing that, I walked on the very front of the boat, flipped it over. What a shit show. Probably lost 2 rods, so I'm gonna do some swimming here, but I'll bring you guys along. First thing I'm gonna do is grab the yak and flip it over. Can't believe that I flipped this thing. And then I lost a paddle, I lost rods, I lost my hat. I'm gonna pull all my stuff. There's a paddle boom in my camera mount. Trying to get creative. Here, I'm actually gonna set this right up here. I have to swim for my rods right now. And my flip-flops. There's nothing left to do but to do it. I'm gonna give you my life jacket here. Wish me luck.
All right, have fun.
All right, well.
Deep, huh?
No, it's not that deep. But I'm gonna have to kind of comb figure out where I may have been. Can't see anything, that's for sure. Woo! Oh, finally. All right, we're back in action. Let's do this. That just goes to show you guys, you're always in between swims. The last thing in the world I thought I was going to be doing today was swimming and diving for rods. I had my key fob, my wallet, everything on me today. In fact, I was even thinking I should get a dry bag. Like, I'm not going to swim in this thing. You just never know. All right. Well, you guys, that was one of the dumbest things that's ever happened to me. Check it out. I've got this camera mount off the front of my yak right here that I made. It's basically just a stand-up paddleboard paddle with my X grip. And that paddle hit I was trying to turn my camera on, and when I reached forward to press the button, the kayak spun out and the paddle hit the wall, and it knocked my phone into the water. And then as I was jumping for my phone, I flipped the whole kayak over. So no fault of the kayak. That was all me being super dumb. So we're gonna try that again, this time with less swimming and more bass. Let's do it. Cool, now we're back on it. So I don't want to give the false illusion that this kayak's not stable, because it's stable. Watch, I mean, I'll stand up in this yak. It's definitely hugely stable. That's not the issue. It's that I was diving for that phone up there and just rolled it right off the top. So, live and learn, right? So I just paddled it across the lake, and I guess it's what you'd expect from a 10.5 foot, 33-inch wide boat. It is pretty darn slow. If this is a kayak that you're going to be getting for lakes or paddling distance, I'd highly recommend looking at something a little longer, a little faster. Kind of in my brain going through, like, where does this boat fit in the lineup in our shop? How does it compare? You know, it's $7.99, so it's kind of priced around the Seaghost 110, which is $8.29, but it comes with the paddle and it comes with the rudder. This boat is $7.99, but the rudder sold separately, so, you know, $9.99 for a comparably equipped boat. I will say that the quality on this is definitely a step up. The seat ergonomics, how high you sit off the deck is definitely a step up from the Vibe. It also compares to the Lure 10, which honestly, for $200 less, the ability to add the rudder, the sonar pod, the standing deck, and everything about this boat, I just feel like is a little bit more my style. I would rather have this boat as opposed to a Lure 10. You do lose the wheel and the keel, but still, I think it's a better value. I think if it were me and I was looking at it, if I was going to be doing a lot of stand-up fishing and I wanted a platform, I would go this route. Also, if I had to make that choice between the 10.5 or the 12, personally, I'd probably go for a little bit longer, a little bit more speed. Now, if I was in a river setting or skinnier waters, like these little back sloughs I'm in right now, the 10.5 does well. But when I had to paddle against that wind across the lake, it felt slow. It felt like I was pushing a lot of boat around. The other thing I noticed is the rudder on this boat makes a huge difference. The stock without the rudder, it's not that it's loose, but you can see if I do nothing, the boat kind of wants to drift off course. Very typical for a 10.5 short wide boat. But the rudder makes a huge difference in your ability to paddle and drive the boat where you want it to go. That ability to just stand right up, that ability to have your knees kind of at a 90 degree see how high my hips are off the deck. I can just stand up without giving it any thought. I mean, I could cast off this the same as I would cast off like a native Titan or something like that. So back here at Lodi Lake, there's all these little side sloughs, and this is a great spot to come bass fishing. I'm actually going to just cast along this Thule bank right here. Gary Yamamoto flapping hog I got tied on. See what we can figure out here. I'm gonna drop my rudder down. Now that I'm fishing, that's where I use the rudder more often than not. Not necessarily for directional control. It's when I'm fishing and I got one hand on the rod. I can spend more attention, you know, just trying to paddle and stay in position, not so much attention trying to drive the boat. I'm also not getting blown around as much with the rudder. So if your boat has the ability to take a rudder in your kayak fishing, it's definitely a worthy upgrade in most cases. Again, this boat doesn't come with a rudder, but I added one on because I really like the feel of a rudder. Another thing that's kind of cool is you got that little groove right in the hatch. It's a perfect place to stow your rod when you're paddling point A to point B. You can just rest your rod right in there. You're good to go. Oh, that's the one. Oh, okay. I'm gonna back up here. So what's going on here, you guys, is there's a big ball of fry and there's a bass that's hanging out with it and protecting it. And I paddle right over the top. I'll come back to this spot. I guarantee I can catch that fish. So stability-wise on this kayak, I'd have to give it, I don't know, like an 8 or a 9. Super stable, super easy to stand up in. Oh, here we go. That fish is swirling right now. It doesn't like this thing in its little zone. The fact that it just came back up to the surface and hit something is a good sign that we'll be able to catch her. Speed, I'd give this thing like a, I'd say 3. I mean, it's pretty slow. Maneuverability, 9 or a 10. Fishability, once you're like at your spot and you're wanting to fish, with this big, huge rudder on it, you have super good control and dexterity. Your stability is huge. Fishability, I'd give it like a, man, I guess like a 9. I really like the deck layout in front of me here. You know, a little pod I can access and have tackle in, but yet I still have this huge area right here for standing in. Even a little area up front for a dry bag. I think for what you're getting value-wise and fishability for a $7.99 price point is absolutely unreal. The ability to stand up, if you're a bass fisherman, if you're a bigger guy, you're gonna love this boat. If you're 250 plus, man, unless you really have a size restriction or you're on a tight budget, go for that 120. Get that extra space and that extra stability. Because one thing I'll say is, with the shorter boat, as soon as you move your weight forward, it definitely affects the performance of the trim on this shorter boat. With that said, in my 8-foot bed, I just slid it in there, didn't even have to tie it down, and I was on the water. So there's a lot to be said for that. All in all, I'm super happy with this boat. So let's talk a little bit about who I feel like this boat's for. I really feel like this is for somebody that wants an easy portable boat that's still plenty stable to stand up in. A bass fisherman that's going to be on ponds, slow moving rivers, smaller lakes. I think an open water fisherman is still going to appreciate a faster boat. But man, for skinny water like I'm in right now, standing up, grabbing and going, just getting to the water, this boat is great for that. Easy rigging too, the ability to add the rudder, it's already pre-plumbed. The hatch is already all set up for fish finder. So I like a lot of that stuff. I gotta say, guys, this is probably one of the more fun reviews I've had this year. I definitely give this boat a vote of approval for $7.99 compared to what you're getting at the box stores for, you know, $500-600 bucks. Definitely a huge step up in value and performance. I'll mention it again, but the rudder is a nice logical upgrade. Definitely, if you're going to be spending the money, spend a little more, get yourself the rudder. You won't regret that. And also the paddle, you guys, if you're looking to get into the sport and you're on a tight budget, don't think about just the kayak. Think about spending $150, $250 and getting a good paddle, because that'll really make the biggest difference in your paddling. I know for sure you've got a $300 rod and reel setup in there. You don't hesitate to spend that. If you're going to be a paddler, spend the bucks, get a good paddle. You'll thank me for it later. Anyways, you guys, I hope you find this review helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. If you haven't done so already, join our community, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to keep these videos coming. If you'd like to share your adventures, do us a favor, hit us up on Instagram, tag us in your post. It's at Headwaters Kayak, or you can use the hashtag Headwaters Kayak. And we'd love to see what you guys have going on in your neck of the woods. Until next time, you guys, this is Dan wishing you happy paddling. We'll see you on the next one. Little fish on the little big fish. There he goes. All right, well, that was worth it.